Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 53. Love those hearts there, Big Ugly. What a name. Happy Resurrection Day to everyone. God bless you and thank you. I know today is a holiday, and today is actually a holy day. We will be talking about that a little bit. Tonight, I do have Zhenya with me for the entire time we're together. Going to try not to push it too long because we are on holiday today, celebrating the resurrection. With that said, you're going to hear from Volodymyr Zelensky, his thoughts on that. I've got the transcript. I will read that, some of it to you. You're going to hear directly tonight from who is becoming one of the main leaders of the free world. And yes, we know Volodymyr Zelensky is doing that. Oasis Farms. Hello, Greg and Zhenya from Peter and Lily in, it went by so fast, Missouri. I think Missouri. Добро пожаловать, мы очень рад. Вы с нами. Welcome to everybody. One of the guys that's becoming leader of the free world, of course, Volodymyr Zelensky. But I'll tell you what, Boris Johnson, and you guys are going to really appreciate what Boris Johnson says tonight. So everyone is jumping in here. Want to welcome all of you, Missouri. That's where you guys are from. Big shout out and hello tonight to Johanna and Ate, our Finland connection. Shirley Phelps, Washington, Stephen Terry Olsgaard checking in from Marysville, California. I know it's Walsh. How many Peter and Lilias are there? Come on. And you know Jeka? You didn't say Zhenya. You said Jeka. So, of course, let's go ahead and get Zhenya in here tonight. Welcome to everyone. And let me roll you in here, boss.
Hey, happy Resurrection Day.
Happy Resurrection Day.
Greetings from Ukraine.
The good thing is you get to celebrate it twice. Ukraine,
why not,
as many other nations throughout the world, celebrated on a Western calendar, and there's also an Orthodox calendar. Slava, Добро пожаловать. Welcome. Hello from Hong Kong. Me and Inessa are watching. Welcome, Inessa. Love the blue and yellow hearts there. So, folks, going to be a really, really good night. Lots of things we're going to talk about. I've got everything ready to go. But most importantly, Zhenya, you're with us tonight. And as always, we'll do it together. And just glad you're here. I put together the update from the Poland trip and then the distribution of things last night. So everyone has seen that. We're all up to speed. We're coming to some of the most decisive hours of the war to this point yet. Of course, on February the 24th, when Russia invaded, of course, that was not the beginning of the war. That was just a new phase of the war. The war began in 2014, and I'm convinced that planning for the war began the day that Ukraine gave up its weapons. But we're not here to discuss any of that tonight. We are here to discuss what's going on today, what is going to be happening in a few hours when Russia is scheduled to close Mariupol. We're going to talk about a lot of the conscriptions that are going on throughout Eastern Europe, the bombing of Kharkiv and the shelling has increased substantially over the last 48 hours. I think we have 18 civilians killed over the last 48 hours from shelling. I have video. I will not even show it. Literally, folks, people just trying to get to the grocery store, coming down the sidewalk with their groceries and being killed. It's ridiculous. We know this. This is why we're here every night. But that's in Kharkiv, and I'm very concerned for what potentially could happen in Kharkiv. But we will be watching it. So, Zhenya, how are you doing? And how you feeling? How was the weekend? And what does it look like for the week ahead of you? As far as the war is concerned, we'll discuss that together. But about the shelter, the ministry, everything, How about the update?
Okay. Hello one more time. Today was a great day. For me, it already was. It's finished. And I will start from personal. So in the morning, it's probably, I don't know if you know or not, but I'm receiving my relatives from Kiev. And it's grandfather, let's say, his sister, and parents of my wife. So we started in the morning. We started to pray during the breakfast, and I started to share about the Easter. So as a result, they said, "Okay, surely we go to the service meeting so, with you." I said, "Okay, no problem. You're welcome." So the first time they were on the my church meeting, and I'm happy. Or it was good time. And they
Pretty
surely it's
amazing.
a big.
Pretty amazing. You get into a war, and it's people's perspectives begin to change.
Yes, and we had some refugees on the meeting, and one of our volunteers, she's one from she's as well. She's from refugees as well. She was happy to be in the meeting with the prayer, and she said, "Hey, wow, great! Next time I will come earlier." So it was, I mean, great day concerning the, let's say, the week and the end of the week and our activity.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things we are getting, I mean, in the proper order. It's, for that we made like new, let's say, mm, new regulations, more clear limits and so on. So some people, I mean, coming and they're asking how many months we can live in here, and it's not easy to answer that. It's a temporary staying. It's not like for like half of the year and so on. We didn't have this condition, and we were working over that, how to explain the people that things. And now, I mean, now it's okay. We're happy when we did help some more families to get. They were heading to Germany, didn't have any contacts, so we did help them with the church contacts there, and now it's easier for them. They know they are expected, they are welcomed, and there is a place who is waiting, which is waiting for them, which it really big helps people. And we made a plan with the I don't know, did Greg share? Yeah, you did share last night about the place we visited, and we brought some humanitarian aid.
Yes,
So
sir.
today we're working how to help more, because that place needs. I mean, these people. It's about 50 people. Needs much more help, and we are on the way. Let's say to give them more, because they will stay there in that place in that condition up, I think, until September or October. It's already fixed.
Wow.
So they will need some help, more help, and some stuff for kids, for them.
Well, we will
So
we will
we'll.
continue.
Hmm.
Um, I want to start tonight, Genia, and I've got certain things we're going to be going through. Tonight, we're going to answer the question about the Azov. There's so many people
Hmm.
in the world thinking that the Azov are Nazis and all this stuff. You sent me a video. A young lady did a really good job explaining it. You saw the graphic tonight. So we're going to set the record straight tonight and be done
Hmm.
with that topic. Folks, Ukraine is not the place of Nazism and fascism. That would be the invading country. So,
Hmm.
but we're going to show you something tonight that's going to set some of those concerns for people around the world at ease, and we're here to tell you the truth, and you're going to see it. So we will look at that. But I want to start first tonight. This lady is from Mariupol. Little quick video clip. Um, it's it's Resurrection Day, so it's a day of thanksgiving. It's a day of thanking God that we can have relationship with him through Jesus Christ and the resurrection. So I want to show, you just have to smile at this a little bit. A lady refugee, Zhenya, from Mariupol. This video is a few days old, but I've been holding it. She was able to escape, and with whom she was riding, they only allowed her one possession. There was no room. So she could get in and she could choose one thing to take with her. She did not choose, a bag of clothes. She did not choose, something that you would, as a memento, maybe a family picture. She chose her rooster. And the reason she chose her rooster is because she said that through the entire war there, her rooster was her friend and kept her company, kept her calm, and there was no way that she could leave her rooster behind. That's her in the blue hat, and that's her rooster. It's a fine looking rooster. Y'all get ready. Here it comes. But folks, that's the reality, and it's just a nice way to start tonight. Think about it in your life. If you were given the ultimatum, hey, we've got space for you, you can take one thing, what would you grab? What would you grab? This lady grabbed her rooster. Jacob, let's go here. We're going to roll through this stuff tonight. This was sent in by one of our viewers. It's from Native American artist Ricardo Kate. It's a pencil drawing of Vladimir Putin and Zelensky and playing the game Battleship. Have you ever heard of the game Battleship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you sunk my battleship. So I tell everybody, you send in the pictures and I will share them. I want us also, while we're focusing on Ukraine, and that's the purpose of this evening update, once again, though, I want us to pay attention to the other things that are going on in the world. Rocket Man today, I call him Rocket Boy, fired another missile wanting attention. And I just 30 seconds here to gloss over it, but I just want us to remember, we're so focused, we still need to pay attention. China, Taiwan, Iran, Israel, all the things that are happening in the other parts of the world. And it's very possible, if this is not ended, a lot of these things could connect together, especially with Europe. And we'll see. But I just wanted us to be reminded of that. I want to go to this one next, Zhenya, and this is why we are doing what we're doing. And I can tell you guys today we'll have updated numbers on our relief funds, but it's just amazing. You guys know that we have raised above $80,000 in 53 days. It's getting to Ukraine. It's being used. And it's making a difference. Thank you for that. Thank you for continuing to partner in prayer. Thank you for continuing to be here, to like, share, comment, tell your neighbors, tell your friends. I even love getting the hate mail. It's wonderful. So it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. Zhenya, you're seeing this in Ukraine firsthand. UNICEF came out today and said 1.4 million people without running water across war-affected eastern Ukraine. From what you're hearing, what you're talking about with people there, you're hearing the stories from the refugees. How bad is it really in some of these places?
Okay, just quote one of the family. It was said like this, that when, okay, the water, like, I mean, we didn't have enough water, but then we realized, I mean, we used everything we had. Then we realized that we don't have, and it was a cold time, so there were some ice on the street, and we were gathering all of it, melting and drink. Then it became worse. So no ice, no snow, nothing. And we started to look for any kind of water. We're starting to cut our heating system, the batteries,
Mm-hmm.
and in our place and in our houses, and were some lefts, and we used rusty, but we could drink it somehow. But then became much worse that we didn't have it at all. I mean, didn't have it all. Sometimes were there were moments when some volunteers tried to bring some water or share, but because of the bombing, we couldn't go there. It was too many dead people
Well,
outside.
when you think about the devastation, and we've shown a lot of it in pictures. We've pushed the envelope. I try to be sensitive for what people see, but at the same time, we need to see it, and it's a challenge.
Hmm.
I had a tough night sleeping last night, to be quite honest with you, because as you know, I see 99% more stuff than I share, and a lot
Hmm.
of it's quite difficult to look at. And I would, never share a lot of that publicly, but we can describe it. We can tell it. It's brutal. It's evil. These cities are being destroyed. So when you see that 1.4 million people without running water, maybe you can't understand that number. Let me help you with that number tonight. That's the population of Phoenix, Arizona. That's the population of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. These are major cities in America. So if you have traveled to Philly or you have traveled to Phoenix, just imagine
Hmm.
no water, no power, no heat. If you're in Phoenix, no air condition, whatever it may be. It's really a challenge, and it's not like they can just flip a switch and the water's running again. The infrastructure has been devastated. This is going to be a long-term effort in some of these cities. And for example, in the city of Mariupol, it's destroyed. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Some of the updates that came, and Jania knows about this. Russian forces continue to redeploy combat and support equipment from Belarus towards eastern Ukraine. Last night, I showed you a video of another train. It's almost every day. In fact, I received new video today of more arms, more soldiers coming. I could show it, but it's each night I'm showing it, so you are aware of it. Russian artillery
Uh,
continues to strike Ukrainian positions throughout east of the country, where Russia is planning to renew its new offensive activity. They have not begun yet. In fact, tonight on Zelensky's evening update, he said it point blank, because there are many people out there, not many, there are some people out there saying that, I think if once Mariupol's gone, Russia's going to stop. And Zelensky came out this evening with his evening address and says, we are prepared, but it's coming, and we have no other intelligence telling us differently. In fact, he said in his address, Zhenya, that each day that the weapons are delayed or not coming to Ukraine, he
mhm.
called it permission for Russia to continue what it's doing.
Yeah, it's like a sign. It's like a sign to Russian. Yeah,
Hmm.
that you can go, like, we can hold the weapon, helping with that. So like I mean, showing, demonstrating their position that like we are support, but in reality we're delaying it. You have some more time, you have some more time, you have some more possibilities. And I want to get back to previous topic about the water. What is reality now?
Yes.
Even in some places which was deoccupied, and still, so sometimes they have possibility to, I mean, to bring the transport water there, and
Like in a
people
truck?
just, taking, yes,
Okay.
like in a truck. But in some places, the reality is like that even if people knows the wells, the water sources, they cannot go there because it's mined. I mean, a lot of mines there, and until it will all will be checked, they cannot go there. So they still sitting inside and asking, please, please, I mean, get us some water, so on. So this reality, people staying in the lines. Sometimes, if it's a line to get the water, and the shelling is, I mean, starts, the Russian missiles or bombs, people stays. I mean, some people even stays even under the shelling
Yes.
because they were waiting in line and they need water. So sometimes they ignoring the bombing, ignoring the shells. I mean,
Well,
and volunteers are hiding, and soldiers are hiding.
but
I mean,
think about it.
sheltering.
Think about it. Starvation and thirst will drive you to do unbelievable things. The bombings that happened yesterday in Kharkiv, I decided not to show the video, but literally, people lost their life covering children, covering the other people's bodies, and all the people were trying to do was get some food from the market or get some water, and they were just shelled in the walkways. And I chose not to show that. Let me ask you this question, since you brought it up. In the areas that the Russian military has been and left, or they still are, how bad is the mining? Meaning,
Oh, I mean, it's a historical, let's say, records. I mean by that, nothing like that ever happened in history. How many mines were, I mean, installed, and it was in most crazy places. I mean, they were leaving for example, the bag of potato, knowing that people are, I mean, hungry, and surely they will. I mean, somebody will take this bag, will try to take this bag, and they're mine. Sometimes it's in a washing machine. Sometimes it's
yes,
connected to the handle,
refrigerator, the
the door
stove,
handle, refrigerator,
yes,
toys, cell phones,
trees,
wallets, trees, and some of them are using technology of the heat. If it the sensor shows that there is a heat close, and then it explodes, and so many evil, I mean, creative, I mean, yes, creative way to kill people, which is shocking. And some of people, I mean, specialists telling that it will take up to 3 years, not less, to take all of the mines out. And so
let everyone
people
think
can,
about that for a moment. Think about that for a moment. That's just
the
as of right
specialists,
now, up to 3
yes,
years to demine, and we
and
can't even comprehend it. I saw a
for
picture.
example,
Go ahead. You go.
okay, sorry for want to finish. this is why there is a difficulty with fixing their electric lines
Mm-hmm.
or water pipes, because it's mined, and a lot of people, specialists in the area of energetics, trying to fix the electricity, they're dying because of the dead mines. It's reality. There is a statistic.
I saw a picture of an old man. He was plowing his garden with a rake. I mean, not equipment, shoveling his garden.
Yeah.
And right beside him is the sign pointing in the ground that the specialists have marked. They've not taken it out yet, but they marked it, live mine. And he's just planting. And he was asked, why are you doing this? There's a live mine. He says, what am I going to do? I'm not leaving. So either I get blown up or I starve. I've got to plant my food. And it's just, this is the reality of what's happening there. Zhenya, with that said, go now and think about this forced mobilization in occupied territories. It's happening now in very high levels. Of course, last night I did quite a bit of time on Mariupol. Tomorrow morning it's supposed to be closed. We'll pause Mariupol. I've got its own slide for Mariupol, but Kherson, Izum, Melitopol. The list can go on, and we can just list cities, but the forced mobilization is happening now in stronger ways, with stronger persuasion for people to join the Russian forces or people to get involved in the transition. Last night, I showed 2 pictures of the sign going into Energodar. I showed how, and I explained to people in Ukraine how each city has its own sign. You come into the city, there's the big sign that says, and it's not a road sign, typically made out of concrete, these big, huge, beautiful signs, painted pretty. And I showed the Energodar painted blue and yellow, but now it's red, white, and blue. It's completely under the Russian control as of right now. But this forced mobilization of people, I mean, they're just being told what to do. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. I would
So
say
the purpose is, can you confirm that?
Yes, I do. Surely, as I know, from the sources we heard, and from the people we heard who had their relatives in that area, and you should add Donetsk and Lugansk area. It's the same occupied territory, but they are the year, and they were confirming, and that, for example, my husband or my son, who is over 18, were not allowed to leave, and now they're being forced. Being mobilized, and this is why I need to stay and wait for some of them. Maybe they will try, to find a way to get out. But this is reality, and yes, and one more thing, getting even on Russian territory, it is hidden, not like, not spreading, but it is a reality there. Very close, not the same way, but they mobilizing people, against of their will.
Yes.
It's the same, but much worse here. There is no way to run away, let's say. You cannot, ignore it.
Zhenya, I've got the pictures with the passport, because, the soldiers carry their document. I have the pictures of slain Russian soldiers, and they put the passport beside their face. We get all those images, a lot of that detail, and the passports are showing that they're kids, 15, 16, 17 years old that have been mobilized into the Russian forces, and these children have been killed in the war in Ukraine. These are facts. The passport's right beside their face. And it's just very, very ugly what is happening. And this is why the world must get involved. Right here, Mariupol. Mariupol was given the mandate to lay down its arms. They did not. I want to show a video clip. First, let me show this, guys. This is a young fella standing in his house. I can translate this, or Zhenya can. I'm very good at speaking to children in the Russian language. My level is great to talk to the children. But this young fella, he's saying, I'm 7 years old. This is my home. Mariupol. I'll just play it.
Я Макар.
Иди ко мне. Стреляют.
Я Макар. Мне сегодня 7 лет. Спасибо.
Today I'm 7.
Мой дом.
This is my house.
Это мой дом. Спасибо спасителям из России, что
Thank you to the
сделали
Russians
вот
for
такое.
saving me.
Ну, то, что вы сейчас видите.
Let me play that one more time, because now you have the basics of what he said.
Я
Yes, those are
Макар.
gunshots.
Иди ко мне. Стреляют.
Я Макар. Мне сегодня 7 лет. Спасибо. Это мой дом. Вот, это мой дом. Спасибо спасителям из России, что сделали вот такое. Ну, то, что вы сейчас видите.
7-year-old kid. What he said, Nazar? His name was Nazar? And
Makar.
Maraka. Okay, I knew it was
Makar.
something like that. And this is my house. What is it? You can hear the gunshots in the back. It's not a fake video. It's a real video. That's Mariupol. And Mariupol is here. The mandate was given for the Ukrainian remaining forces to lay down their weapons. They have not. They did not surrender. They are going to fight to the death. Let's just call it the way it is. They're going to fight to the death. They're not going to give up. There's up to 100,000 people still trapped there. The stealing of people, the forced labor. Basically, folks, Mariupol, unless it is delivered, is going to become basically a big gulag. It's destroyed, and it's going to be forced labor. It's going to be atrocities. It's going to be conscriptions, and it's going to be an exchange of food for service. It's going to be unbelievable, and we're not stopping it. I do have a video clip here, Zhenya. You probably didn't see this, but I think this is George Stephanopoulos, and he is interviewing the Prime Minister of Ukraine this morning. And just listen how the Prime Minister responds about Mariupol.
We're joined now by the Ukrainian Prime Minister, Denis Shmyhal. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for joining us this morning. You know, the Russians have demanded surrender in Mariupol by early this morning. That deadline has now passed. Has the city fallen?
No, city still is not fallen. There is still our military forces, our soldiers, so they will fight till the end. And as for now, they still are in Mariupol. But there is a huge humanitarian catastrophe because there is more than 100 civilians which are suffering for more than 40 days of this humanitarian crisis and this in this besieged city, and they have no water, no food, no heat, no electricity. And we ask all of our partners to support and help to stop this humanitarian catastrophe in Mariupol.
What would control of Mariupol mean if the Russians do indeed take control in the coming hours?
there still are our soldiers, and some of the regions of Mariupol is under Ukrainian control, so there is no whole control from Russian side of under Mariupol.
Don't you just appreciate his answer? Stephanopoulos going, well, what would it mean if Russia controls Mariupol? And he says, our troops are still there. They're fighting. And that's the spirit of Ukraine. Zhenya, before we discuss that one moment, I think this was a great comment here. Larry Gurley, he said, kids do not even flinch. You know, flinch? When shots are fired. He's talking about the video of that kid. Yeah. You hearing the gunshots? He doesn't even jump. He's not scared. He's hearing it nonstop.
Yes, because it's becoming just a normal sound for them, and they're being used to that. Not even on the level of adults. Adults cannot be used to hear it, and the kids it depends of the situation. But some of the kids, when they're hearing any loud sound, they're trying to hide. They're running away, and trying to hide somewhere under the table. This is what we see. Some of them becoming ignoring. They become ignoring it. Just. Okay, this is the normal.
Like
and
the kid we
from
just
the
saw.
Previous interview. So he by 100 he didn't mean over 100,000 people
in Mariupol.
In Mariupol, still now, the civilians.
And this is all they hear. And Zhenya, my concern, and I'll go here just for a moment for us, two cam. Let me pull two cams in. What we see happening in Mariupol, which is right here, folks. I'm super concerned for Kharkiv. It's close to the Russian border. You know, they're coming in. They've basically got it wrapped. Not this way. And you're talking about the second largest city in Ukraine, 1.5 million people in Kharkiv. Yes, many have escaped, but there's still hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people there. And it seems, and it's not just me, but many of the Ukrainian representatives in government leaderships, general staff, they're concerned because the increase of shelling on Kharkiv is similar to the early days when Mariupol was first being attacked with the goal to bring it under siege. It's tough. Zhenya, this is from Orion Intelligence. This is the increase of the NATO flights that are running the borders of Ukraine. So, guys, what you see there in the yellow is NATO reconnaissance. In the green, Russian. In the red, Russian. And the other thing I want you to see, and some of you watch this on your phones or iPads, many of you watch it on your TV. I want you to look, you probably can't tell it, but they're airplanes. Look at the little red dots throughout Belarus and throughout Russia. Folks, those are air bases. They have a lot of airplanes, and this is why we need to get on board and supply Ukraine with the proper weapons. Zhenya, you may or may not have seen this, but this is what's going on in the air. And there was recently a release by a Ukrainian pilot, and his story was, buy me a jet. Were you able to see that? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, here it comes.
Yes, I did.
Here it
Is
comes.
what the proposal
Russia
entails.
is
As the
continuing
Russian
to
invasion
assault on
intensifies in
Russia.
Ukraine, more than 2
wider
million
attack.
refugees.
Buy me a fighter jet. It will help me to protect my sky, fill the Russian planes that bomb my land, kill my friends, and destroy our homes and everything I have ever known. The air is full of explosions that ruin our schools, hospitals, and homes. I have never seen anybody die until now. Unexpected death from above is a harsh reality for millions of our people right now. You have a chance to stop it. Give us wings to fight for our sky. Whoever you are, a businessman, an IT specialist, an actor or a singer, whichever nationality you are or country you live in, you can help us to stop the terror. Buy me a fighter jet. I will fight with my whole heart to destroy the tanks, armored vehicles and war criminals' occupants. They would not escape neither from me and from the anger of the Ukrainian people and God. Please join our fight to stay free. The only planes of your enemies that would be left on our land would be trophies. Buy me a fighter jet.
And folks, there you have it. We're sharing everything we can share. You never know, but this is the desperation for arms. With that said, Zhenya, Russia today delivered, and this is a fact, Russia delivered a letter to the United States. It was an official letter from the Kremlin, and it was sent to Washington, D.C. This has been verified multiple times, and it was basically Russia telling the United States, and when they tell the United States, telling NATO to stop. It was an official letter asking the United States to stop supplying weapons to Ukraine. It's just the beginning. Russia has already said that maybe they need to bomb the train tracks where weapons are coming in or bomb the roads, whatever it may be. But today, I don't have any other data on it, but I can tell you that today, this Sunday, a letter was delivered to Washington from the Kremlin telling the United States to stop supplying Ukraine with weapons. That brings me to this. And you can confirm it, Jacob. President Zelensky reiterated, stated again, it's all or nothing. The discussion of giving up any Ukrainian territory will not be tolerated. That means the occupied territories of Lugansk, Donetsk, Mariupol, that has not fallen, but for sure is close. The annexed, stolen territory of Ukraine, Crimea. President Zelensky, we call it doubling down. He doubled down and he said, sorry, the land is not up for discussion. They've been talking about it, that maybe, but no, it's not. There's no discussions.
Yeah, it's already said, yes, and it's the statement was made clear and understandable way concerning the letter with demand of to stop supplying Ukraine with a weapon. They had sent to Slovakia, seems to me, and they already commented it that we will ignore it. It's just it's obvious.
With that said, the Italian Prime Minister called Putin today and gave his report. It's the same thing. All these presidents, all these prime ministers are calling the Kremlin and they're saying the same thing. Putin said, we're not done. He was rude and the Italian prime minister came back and says, we're getting nowhere having discussions with Vladimir Putin. I think his decisions are made. Rick Barry, this one's for you, our Vietnam vet, and there may be others in here that are Vietnam veterans. Thank you for your service. But JDO makes a comment. Russians didn't stop supporting Vietnam in the 1960s. That's exactly right. But that's how they roll. It's good for them only. They're superior. You have to remember there's many things happening that are so close to the principles that were established in World War II with the Aryan nation, and now with the pure Russian blood and all of these things, calling the Ukrainians Southern Slavs. They're not the pure Russian. It's just trash. It brings us to the topic of the night. It will not take long to answer this question. This young lady does a phenomenal job. This was the advertisement for tonight, day 53. War in Ukraine. Azov. Is it the same as Nazi? Is that a Nazi symbol? You can see on the left there, folks, the Azov logo. With the, for us English speakers, the N and then the line through it. And then, okay, well, if you rotate that a little bit, it looks like a swastika. Oh, if you rotate it 90 degrees, it's a Z. And over on the right, we've got an image of Adolf with the swastika. And then I have at the lower part, no, Azov is not equal to Nazi. The Azov is a historical logo that has been around way before. And did you know this? Maybe you didn't. Who designed the swastika that Hitler used in World War II? The swastika has been around in Asia for generations, centuries. But Hitler liked it. He had his artist redesign it, and none of them could do it right. It was actually Adolf Hitler that designed the swastika with the red, the white, and the black, and then he rotated it those 90 degrees to give it that up angle. That was the work, actually, of Adolf Hitler. When he was in school as a young fellow, he was an artist. He was trained. So he did the design of the swastika as well. But we can tell you the Azov has been around hundreds of years. And this girl, Zhenya, you actually sent this to me.
Yes.
This girl, I've got the video ready to go, and then you can comment on it. Let's do that first. Here it goes.
What is the meaning of the symbolism of the Azov forces? Many journalists and foreign observers ask what the symbol used by the Azov regiment in Mariupol and fighters of the Azov forces all over Ukraine means. Since a lot of fakes are circulating on the internet on this issue, we publish explanation from the unit's fighters. The sign placed on the Azov chevrons and flags is the idea of a nation. It is created from two letters, I and N. These are traditional letters from the ancient Ukrainian alphabet. Some people mistakenly say that the idea of a nation is a variation of the false angel rune, which was used in Germany. This information is a Russian fake. The idea of a nation sign has been used in Ukraine since the Middle Ages. In the photo, you can see how the symbolism was used by different families close to the leadership of the state. There is even a photo of the seal of a judge from 1601. He used the idea of a nation in his coat of arms. Today, all Ukrainian nationalists use this symbol in the same sense. It is their oath that they will be faithful to Ukraine and the Ukrainian nation until death. Today, those who have the idea of a nation sign on their flags and chevrons are heroes in Ukraine. These fighters defend Ukrainians from Russian aggression. These are Ukrainian nationalists. They are the basis of the Ukrainian resistance to Putin. The idea of a nation is as much a symbol of Ukraine as the official trident. It is a symbol of people who seek freedom. Spread this video on social media with the hashtag Azov. We need to tell the truth about the Russian-Ukrainian war.
So there you have it, folks. So we're going to make it extremely clear now, and then I'm going to let the Ukrainians speak to it. The Azov symbol is not a swastika. It is propaganda.
No.
It is lies from Russia, And that is why we have to be careful of what we watch, what we read, what we hear. Most of the junk out there is just that, junk. And it just aggravates me. I kept seeing this, and I wanted to address it. And then, lo and behold, just a couple of hours ago, Zhenya sent me that video, and I said, okay, tonight's the night. And so you're Ukrainian. It just gets sickening that people keep saying this mess.
I want to add a couple things on and comment the Azov. Seems to me 2015 or 16 when I was asking people, but I mean local people when we were visiting, I met a couple guys and they said, hey, you have to understand, absolutely most people in our place, I mean in our regiment, let's say, they are local people from the east. So why we fight till the end, let's say, because we fight for our homes. We fight some of our relatives' parents there on occupied territory. This is why we fight for our homes. We want to get back our place, our land, our homes. And we fight for our territory, not just Ukrainian territory, but our part, our personal land.
Indigenous, the historical generations and generations.
Yes, and this, then, yes, right now it's, let's say, there is some, like a tradition and idea in that. So people from all the places, they are like, I mean, coming and they, yes, they participating, becoming a part of Azov. But the color, I mean, the tradition and the culture, the atmosphere is still there. We fight for on our land. We fight for our land, and yes, to make them like, I mean, to make them. To create a picture of like how bad they are, that Ukraine support fascism or something like that. The Russia creates these fakes about the science, about the
correct
all of that.
Well, you realize it's war. I've been showing the last few nights actual footage from Channel 1 in Russia that I've been getting and having it translated, and it's, you know, current, up to the date, talking about the sinking of the Moskva, talking about NATO, and you can just see the madness of the propaganda. And it's just so interesting that, okay, yeah, that symbol, it looks a little bit, if you flip it around and you do this, and then all of a sudden you're just trying to paint the picture to the world that no, these are the Nazis, these are the evil people, these are the butchers, and the world is seeing the exact opposite. Those guys are defending to the last man. At least 8 to 10 nights, I have shown the video of one of the commanders of the Azov talking, giving the update. Now, I am concerned. It feels like I know the guy now, the guy with the red beard. We have not had a video from him in about 3 days. I'm hoping he's alive. And just to be honest, because he nightly updated, but that's where we're at. These guys love their land, they love their home, and they're not butchers, and they're not Nazis. We need to put that to bed.
They're heroes.
They're heroes. That's exactly right. And in fact, there you go. Zhenya, one last thing. It's Easter here in America. People are probably still spending a little time with their friends. They jumped in here tonight, or their families, especially those on the West Coast. We have lots of West Coast viewers. They may still even be getting ready to have dinner. So I want to stay on time tonight. I want to close with Boris Johnson. I have a video clip from Boris Johnson, and then we can say our goodbyes and get ready to start this next week. But Boris Johnson came out today with a powerful message. I really believe And I hope, let me say it this way, well, I believe, but I really hope he continues to step up stronger and stronger and stronger, but quicker and quicker and quicker. Let's be honest, strong and quick. But this guy dropped a message today. He even speaks Ukrainian at the end of it. Here it is today, the Easter message from Boris Johnson. I don't think there's a better way to end night 53 of our updates on Ukraine.
Happy Easter, everyone. It's a time of year when our country bursts with new life and new hope. It's a time to be with family and friends, and a time to reflect on what Christ's self-sacrifice and resurrection means for us all today. Whether it's Christians here in the UK, loving their neighbours and carrying out the countless acts of kindness that are a hallmark of the faith. Those around the world facing fear of persecution, forced to celebrate their Saviour's rebirth in secret. And of course, the Christians of Ukraine, whether they're marking Easter today or its Orthodox equivalent later this month, for whom Christ's message of hope, the triumph of life over death and good over evil, will resonate this year perhaps more than any other. Easter tells us that there is light beyond the darkness, that beyond the suffering lies redemption. And so, this Easter, будьте сильні і майте в серці одвагу, всі, хто вповаючи на Господа. I wish all Christians around the world the very best for Easter.
So in Ukrainian there, he was actually quoting scripture.
Yeah. About
I like that
trusting
guy. I wish our president would do a message like that. I'm just being honest. And that's not about politics. I don't mean it politically, but what a wonderful message delivered to the nation and addressed to the Ukrainian people that are fighting for their lives on this holy day. I think it was good. I could see you in the green room, and I think you had a little wetness in your eyes coming up there. Be careful. We only cried day one. We can't cry anymore. It's now about victory. But it's a nice feeling. What a wonderful message. And not only that, there was theology in there. The resurrection of Christ, light over darkness, good over evil, Christ being the paying the price for it. And then, of course, his greetings to the Ukrainians and the Ukrainian Christians. Just a powerful way to close day 53. Anything else you want to say tonight, my friend?
One more time, thank you for support. Ukraine, in Ukraine and Ukrainians outside of Ukraine, thank you for support and prayer support. It's vital. It's important. You pray for Ukraine. I have no words for that. It's important, and thank you for that. Thank you for finances. Thank you for making it possible to help much more people, which we can. Yes. Thank you for helping us and standing together in all the ways.
Amen. Thank you, Jacob. I'm going to close with that comment right there. I like it. Boris needs to keep poke the bear. One stupid impulse from Russia, one mistake, and I added mistake, and NATO starts launching. Honestly, folks, that's what needs to happen. We've discussed it. We're not scared to discuss it, and we need to end this, and we have the ability to end this. Anyway, thank you, Jacob. We'll be updating. You and I'll be talking here, and we'll keep everybody updated. Folks, that's day 53. What's going to be interesting as he drops the heart on you is in a few hours. It's supposed to happen at, is it 10 a.m. Ukraine time when Mariupol is to close? What time did they set?
I don't remember.
I think it's 10 a.m. I think it's 10 a.m. So right now, 5 a.m. What time is it?
Yeah.
Is it 5?
5. Yes.
You show your clock. Yeah, 5 a.m.
Oh.
We're live, 5:05 a.m. in Ukraine. So in 5 hours, 10 a.m., I'm pretty sure it's 10 a.m. Mariupol time. Russia is supposed to close the city completely. So for sure, tomorrow night, we will be updating, and we'll see what happens. But they're still fighting. And as the prime minister said, has Mariupol falling? He goes, are our troops still there? Then it's not fallen. So thank you, Jacob. We love you, buddy. Hey, thank you for all joining. Another big shout out to Peter and Lilia Walsh checking in from Missouri, our Ukrainsky Simya. We love you guys. Be blessed. See you in 23 hours. Good night.